Alright. I need to do a mic check real quick because anyone watching in the future will see that Call of Duty popped up real quick. I cannot stream unless I have an application open. Using a video application or something would not work, so I need to verify that at this particular moment in time I am broadcasting. This is gonna get rough. I just took like 3 shots back to back. I do have a physical copy of Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary 11th edition in front of me. Nice maroon colored thing, and I am going to be reading it word for word until the stream stops or I get to the next major point in that. I do have some games downloading in the background. And that's kind of, yes. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yes. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay. Very good. Very nice. So, this seems to be working while I'm just staring at the intro screen here. I have a bookmark for where I'm going to definitely stop if I'm able to last that long. But we open it up. Merriam-Webster's. I'll update the thumbnail later, maybe, probably not, but might do that. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary 11th edition registered trademark. Blank page. Flip that shit. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Edition 11th edition. On the left side, a logo saying Merriam-Webster. For your free online subscription and digital download, please go to www.merriam-webstercollegiate.com/free. See the reverse of this card for your instructions and registration number. I'm not going to do that, but I feel like I do have to point out that on this blank page, there's some real weird, like, red ink. Also, at the very bottom, it says 10080 in the bottom left of the footer, and in the center of the footer, it says Envy Pack. Trademarked. Okay. Next page. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary 11th edition. Next page. This is very light stock. I do have chat up for anyone who is interested. For those that peek in and don't say anything, suck a dick. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary 11th edition, Merriam-Webster, Incorporated, Springfield, Massachusetts, United States of America. Okay. The title of the stream does say that it's verbose. It is. I need a moment to get a drink because I am just gradually getting more drunk. And normally that would be okay, but I can feel it in my gut. It's not good. So I need something on my stomach. I need to move this controller out of the way. Okay. Here we go. A genuine Merriam-Webster. The name Webster alone is no guarantee of excellence. It is used by a number of publishers and may serve mainly to mislead an unwary buyer. Merriam-Webster, trademark, is the name you should look for when you consider the... okay, already you're grammatically... I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that once, but then we'll just assume that everything else is okay. I'm going to correct to Merriam-Webster is the name for which you should look. But for the sake of verbosity, Merriam-Webster, trademarked, is the name you should look for when you consider the purchase of dictionaries or other fine reference books. Full stop. Stop. It carries the reputation of a company that has been publishing since 1831 and is your assurance of quality and authority. Full stop. We ain't gonna be doing that for very long. This is gonna get old. Copyright symbol, 2011 by Merriam-Webster Incorporated. Library of Congress cataloging, you spelled that wrong, in publication, that's really, that bothers me. Library of Congress cataloging and publication data. No punctuation whatsoever. Quadruple space. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, triple hyphen, 11th edition, PCM. Includes index, ISBN, fuck. 978-0-87779-807-1. Left paren, laminated, unindexed, alk, paper, right paren. Fuck. ISBN 978-0-87779-808-8, jacketed hardcover unindexed ALK paper. ISBN 978-0-8779-809-5, jacketed hardcover with digital download ALK paper. ISBN 978-0-8779-810-1. This is going to be hard. Leather look with digital download ALK paper. ISBN 978-0-87779-813-2 Canadian. ISBN 978-0-87779-814-9 International. 1. English language dictionaries. Or 1. Title: Collegiate Dictionary. It was definitely Roman numeral 2. Merriam-Webster Inc. P.E. Papa Echo 1628.M. Mike 36 2003. 423 big ass hyphen DC 21 20030033674 CIP. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate, registered trademark, Dictionary, 11th edition, principal copyright 2003. Collegiate is a registered trademark of Merriam-Webster Incorporated. How? That's interesting. All rights reserved. No part of this book covered by the copyrights hereon may be reproduced or copied in any form or by any means, graphic, electronic, or mechanical, including photocopying, taping, or information storage and retrieval systems without written permission of the publisher. Does that mean that I'm violating the copyright by reading it out loud? Reproduced or copied in any form. Am I reproducing or copying? I'm certainly not copying. Am I reproducing? No, because the book is a written format. I am turning it into a verbal format. So I'm going to assume that no, absolutely fucking not. I am not violating the copyright by transferring the information into a verbal format. Made in the United States of America. 15th printing, World Color, Versailles, Kentucky, if it's Kentucky, Versailles, Kentucky, September 2010. Okay, here we go. We're getting a little bit. That was the bullshit. Okay, contents. Preface 6A, explanatory chart 8A, explanatory notes 10A, the English language in the dictionary 25A, guide to pronunciation 33A, abbreviations in this work 38A, pronunciation symbols 40A, a dictionary of the English language 1, foreign words and phrases 1460, biographical names 1466, geographical names 1511, signs and symbols 1600, a handbook of style 1604, index 1623. This is fun. Preface. That's a lot of words. Preface. When Webster's Collegiate Dictionary was first published, the year was 1898, and Americans were being exhorted to remember the Maine, as the 11th consecutive edition of this standard reference book appears. I'm going to have to break the fourth wall here real quick and just say that grammatical errors really fucking piss me off, especially in a dictionary, and I'm going to try to skip over them. But, well, maybe not grammatical errors, but just confusing as fuck. As the 11th consecutive edition of this standard reference book appears, we have crossed a nearly inconceivable divide between the second and third millennia of the modern era. But since daily lives can scarcely be led in constant awareness of a span of time that vast, we now situate ourselves, for the most part, in the first decade of the 21st century. Okay, they used that when so would have been better. Whatever. Over the time between these editions, the world has made its way through two global wars and many others of a more limited kind, wide-ranging social, political, and economic change, not to say revolution, and successive waves of technological change that have transformed communication, transportation, information storage and retrieval, and great numbers of other human activities. At every turn, these events and developments have had a major effect on the stock of words that English speakers use, and it has been the job of a good general dictionary to record these changes. The present book is the latest effort by the editorial team of Merriam-Webster to meet that responsibility. Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, 11th edition, like all earlier editions, is meant to serve the general public as its chief source of information about the words of our language. Its title may suggest a special appropriateness for the older student, but those who work in offices and those who read, think, and write at home will equally find it a trustworthy guide to the English of our day. The ever-expanding vocabulary of our language exerts inexorable pressure on the contents of any dictionary. Words and senses, not sentences, senses, as in the five senses, words and senses are born at a far greater rate than that at which they die out. The 1664 pages, the 1,664 pages of this Collegiate make it the most comprehensive ever published. Starting a sentence with and. And its treatment of words is as nearly exhaustive as the compass of an abridged work permits. As in all Merriam-Webster dictionaries, the information given is based on the collection of 15,700,000 citations maintained in the offices of this company. These citations show words used in a wide range of printed sources, and the collection is constantly being augmented through the efforts of the editorial staff. Thus, the user of the dictionary may be confident that entries in the Collegiate are based on current as well as older material. There should be 2 fucking commas in that sentence. The citation... lip smack. The citation files hold 5,700,000 more examples than were available to the editors of Webster's third new international dictionary published in 1961, and 1,200,000 more than the editors of the 10th edition had at their disposal. The editors of this edition also had available to them a machine-readable corpus of over 76 million words of text drawn from the wide and constantly changing range. This is an English dictionary and they just use Latin. That really aggravates me. From the wide and constantly changing range of publications that supply the paper slips in the citation files. It is now nearly 4 times the size of the corpus used by the editors of the 10th edition. And at this point, I do need to travel on to the C's here. Just real quick. Whoa, almost lost my bookmark for where I'm definitely going to have to stop. I'm going to look and see if corpus is actually in here. If it is, C-O-M. C-U-M. Come. Concubine. Fuck yes. Alright. C-O... Corp... Okay, yeah, it should be here. We see Corpus Christi, Corpus Cardiacum, Corpus! Okay, corpus is here. The body of a human or animal, especially when dead. The main part or body of a bodily structure or organ. The main body or corporeal substance of a thing, specifically. How are you going to use corporeal in a definition of corpus? Specifically, the principle of a fund or estate as distinct from income or interest. All the writings or works of a particular kind or on a particular subject, especially the complete works of an author, a collection or body of knowledge or evidence, collection of recorded utter. I feel like they added that last bit there just to cover their ass on the preface. But, you know, whatever. Those entries known to be trademarks or service marks are so labeled and are treated in accordance with a formula approved by the United States Trademark Association. No entry in this dictionary, however, should be regarded as affecting the validity of any trademark or service mark. The best features of the vocabulary section in the last edition have been retained, reviewed, and improved for this one. Additional pictorial illustrations are present, and many of them were drawn specifically... I apologize. Many of them were drawn especially for this book in order to supplement and clarify definitions. Horrible use of the word especially. Synonym paragraphs and usage paragraphs are both here again augmented in number. The dates of first use provided at most main entries have proved to be very popular with users of the Collegiate. For the 11th edition, thousands of these dates have been pushed back in time, anywhere from a single year to several centuries from published materials, both print and electronic, not available 10 years ago, from the continuing investigations of our own editors and from the contributions of hundreds of interested readers. 2 important changes in the treatment of the vocabulary have been made for this edition, one to provide additional information and the other to make information easier to find. All standard variants are now shown at the relevant main entry so that the reader may see at a glance whether they are equal variants within the main entry or are distinctly less frequent. I'm already getting dry mouth. And entries... I didn't mean to end that with a sound, but why the fuck is Merriam-Webster starting half of their sentences with the word and? Yeah, anyway. And entries for abbreviations as well as for the symbols for chemical elements are now quickly found in the vocabulary section and need not be sought in a separate section tucked away in the back matter as in the previous edition. Great. The front matter of this book establishes a context for understanding what this dictionary is and how it came to be, as well as how it may be used most effectively. The explanatory notes address themselves to the latter topic. They answer the user's question, starting with they, also not a good idea. They answered the user's questions about the conventions, devices, and techniques by which the editors have been able to compress mountains of information about English words into so few pages. All users of the dictionary are urged to read this section through and then consult it for special information as they need to. Are you supposed to be ending your sentences with the word to? The brief essay on our language, as it is recorded in Merriam-Webster dictionaries, they forgot a comma, and this Collegiate in particular, is meant to satisfy an interest in lexicography often expressed in the correspondence which our editors receive. The guide to pronunciation serves both to show how the pronunciations in this book are arrived at. The guide to pronunciation serves both to show how the pronunciations in this book are arrived at and to explain the mechanics of the respelling system in which they are set down. The second half of the sentence uses in which they are set down, proper grammar, but the first half of that concatenation of two ideas, the guide to pronunciation serves both to show how the pronunciations in this book are arrived at which should be, prior to where at is currently at in this sentence. Anyway, I need to just not fucking care. The back matter retains 5 sections from the last edition of the Collegiate. These are foreign words and phrases that occur frequently in English texts but have not become part of the English vocabulary. Thousands of proper names brought together under the separate headings Thousands of proper names brought together under the separate headings biographical names and geographical names. A gathering of important signs and symbols that cannot readily be alphabetized, and a handbook of style in which various stylistic conventions, as of punctuation and capitalization, are summarized and exemplified. All the sections have been carefully updated for this edition. Looking at a copy of that long-ago first Collegiate dictionary, one is struck by how different it is, as a physical book and as a work of reference, from the present edition. I'm sorry, there shouldn't have been a comma there. Oh, yeah, no, my God. Their hiring process must just be so fucking easy. You want the job? Yeah, you're hired. The board covers are heavy. The margins of the page are wide. And the type is relatively large. No, it's fucking not. I'm telling you right now, this is like 6-point font. And the margins are like 4 inches. It's fucking ridiculous. The type is relatively large. At the same time, it holds only about 1,100 pages and less than half the number of vocabulary entries of this 11th edition. At that time, the Merriam-Webster citation file was no more than in its infancy. stop. Yet the author... Don't... You can't... How do you... Infancy, full stop. Yet the editors of that book created it with the same careful, serious attention that the present editors have brought to their work. We believe that this work sustains and advances the tradition of excellence in lexicography that is the heritage of Merriam-Webster Incorporated. The editorial staff who produced it include a number of people who have made contributions to 3 or 4 successive editions of the Collegiate Dictionary. That experience and the continuity form an important part of what the 11th edition is, as do the energy and care of those who have joined the staff just within the last few years. I'd fucking fire them. Some of the latter group will very likely contribute in major ways to the 12th, the 13th, perhaps even the 14th edition of the Collegiate. In the meantime, the entire staff, whose names are given on the facing page, offer their work to people everywhere who need information about the vocabulary of English and the assurance that it will prove a reliable companion. Frederick C. Mish, Editor-in-Chief. You're fired. You're fired. Frederick C. Mish, you're fired. Okay? You fucked up the preface. The beginning of a dictionary, and you couldn't even get the grammar right. On like 60% of all sentences. Grammar is fucked. Okay. Let's see. Edit. Oh my god, this is... This is a lot of text. Oh boy. So I think maybe we should end that. Part 1 is the preface. Part 2 will be editorial staff. And then, well, see, this says explanatory chart. So, okay, no, we'll do editorial staff. And then we'll end it there, and then this is poorly designed, but the explanatory chart, as well as explanatory notes. Oh boy. Will be done for part 2, because it's a lot of data to cover. So, editorial staff. Let's do that. Editor-in-Chief, Frederick C. Mish. You should be fired. Director of Defining, Stephen J. Perrault. And I suppose I'm supposed to go down and write... I'm assuming this is a 2-column thing here. I can't really show you... what I'm looking at here, but I'm going to read it as I see fit. Director of Editorial Operations, Madeline L. Novak. Senior Editors, Robert D. Copeland. Special Projects, Joanne M. Desprez, or Desper, or Desprez. Dates, James G. Lowe. General Defining, Roger W. Pease, Jr., Science Defining. It reminds me of someone named Will Pease. Far worse a person. James L. Rader, Etymology. Associate Editors, Michael G. Bellinger. Biographical Names, Susan L. Brady, Rebecca R. Breyer, Deanna Stathis Chiasson, Kathleen M. Doherty, abbreviations and quotations, Ann Eason, Joshua S. Gunter, pronunciation, should have done a better job, Really needs a pronunciation for some of these names. Daniel J. Hopkins, Geography. Joan I. Narmontas, Life Science. Thomas F. Pitoniak, Production. Donna L. Rickerby, Data Files. Michael D. Roundy, Physical Science. Odd. Maria Sansalone, Cross-Reference. Peter A. Sokolovsky, Karen L. Wilkinson, Linda Picard Wood. Assistant editors, Emily B. Arsenault, Rose Martino Bigelow, Daniel B. Brandon, Emily A. Brewster, Diane Caswell Christian, Jennifer N. Sislow, possibly Kislow, Christopher Chopin, Connor, Penny L. Coyard, Allison S. Crawford, Ilya A. Davidovich, Benjamin T. Kortzek, G. James Kossuth III, oh boy, Jeffrey D. Middleton, Illustrations, Adrienne M. Schultz, Neil S. Servin, Corey L. Stamper, Emily A. Vizina, Judy right column. Director of Electronic Product Development, Gerald L. Wick, or Gerald. Electronic Product Development Staff, Michael G. Gutzi, Manager. L. Jill Nebeker, Web Production. Elizabeth S. Wolf, Content Coordinator. Director of General Reference, Mark A. Stevens. General Reference Editors, C. Roger Davis, Jocelyn White Franklin, Librarian Francis A. Roberts, Departmental Secretary Georgette B. Boucher, or Boucher, dunno. Head of Data Entry, Veronica P. McClymont, don't know. Senior Clerk, Carol A. Fugil, not sure. Clerical and Data Entry Staff, Mary M. Dunn, Florence A. Fowler, Patricia M. Jensen, E. Louise Johnson, Stacey Ann S. Lal, Suzanne M. Talaya, horizontal break. Editorial contributors, Cynthia S. Ashby, Sharon Goldstein. Electronic Product Development Consultant, Kara L. Noble. Merriam-Webster Incorporated, John M. Morse, President and Publisher. And that's it for editorial staff. Now, I think if we're going to continue on, this needs to be broken up into another segment because the explanatory chart and explanatory notes is probably going to take... oh boy. I'm going to say... oh boy. I'm going to say an hour and a half. Maybe longer. This font is encroaching upon itself. Gross. I don't think I'm really going to even learn anything with this, but let's go ahead and we'll end part one here. We got, I don't know, I'd say 0.5% through the entire dictionary, the entire Collegiate. And I'll return soon after breaking this up and coming back with some more information and maybe throwing some gameplay or something in here in the interim. But we will certainly do something just as exhilarating, maybe more, by midnight tonight for those interested. So the end of part one.